Hi, chat. Hope everyone's having a good day, good night, good evening. How's everyone doing? So this might be a weird one for some people that haven't, like, first off, you don't have a Twitter or you don't know much about, like, VTubing behind the scenes. But I think for VTubers, this is probably a good one to watch. So if you're a VTuber and you are unsure about, like, if you got scammed or not with your rigger, I think we should probably talk about it. So, to, I guess, lay a little groundwork before we talk about this wonderful thing I have in my background here. VTubing typically requires 2 artists to get your model off the ground. Typically, there is the model artist, and then there is the rig artist. The model artist obviously makes me, and then the rig artist makes me move, basically. And it's pretty much like how it goes most of the time, right? So the problem comes in is most people understand the model side just fine, because it's basically a glorified PNG that has to be cut in like 2 billion specific ways so it can be rigged. But ultimately, like, it's pretty straightforward what the model artist does. The rigger is a little more confusing as to what you get from it. So you're supposed to get 2 files, right? You get the actual, like, VTuber model done up itself that you put into your VTuber program, typically Live 2D. But apparently not everybody gives you another file called a CMO3. And a lot of people don't think about it, right? A lot of newer VTubers don't think about it. Because you technically wouldn't do anything with the CMO3. And it's going to be a long time before you have to even consider needing your CMO3. Because the CMO3 is what is required to add new expressions. Like my balloons. My balloons are an expression. If I hadn't got them at the start, I would need my CMO3. Right, to have a new artist put them on here, basically. You know, the same with, like, you know, the smug, the angry expression. Like, to get those all done up and rigged up, you need your CMO3. If you want to get them added later, right? But the thing is, normally you've spent all your money on your first model, and you're not going to do any updates for a very long time. So you don't think about needing the CMO3. Well, if you don't have it, and you don't go to your original rig artist, or they don't have it, you have to pay all over again to get all the rigging done. And depending on who you go to, you're looking at $400 to $2,000. It is a wide range, depending on what rigger you go with. That is why you want your CMO3, so you do not have to start over. Well, this guy posted this tweet the other day. Booba. Thank you for the booba. He says, riggers, if I'm paying you to rig my model, that file should also go to me. I paid for it. It is my model. Like, what is this industry? I pay thousands of dollars to not own the file of my own rigged model. So this came out because this person's rigger completely ghosted them. So they went back to try and get more stuff added to their model, but their rigger was just gone. Like, poof, off the internet. So now, if they want to get more expressions added, or to get, you know, new, like, little fun stuff to put on their model, they're going to have to start completely over from square one. they cannot, like, just add to it. They're gonna have to restart. And this led to a lot of VTubers talking about this problem. And a lot of riggers decided to come out of the woodwork and start, like, basically defending some of the worst, scummiest business practices ever. So I have a bunch, you can't see it, I have up here a couple different tab things I made. So I have one that's just called the CMO3 is mine. These are rigger tweets I found where I couldn't really put them into a specific category other than I refuse to give you the file because I don't have to give you the file, it's mine. I have another one just called entitled, which is a mix of riggers acting entitled and riggers saying that clients are entitled for wanting this file, even though, you know, they paid for it. We have one called quote-unquote clients are idiots. These are riggers that basically said, well, the client should have known better, and because they're too dumb to have known they got scammed, they deserve that they got scammed. That's basically like the line of thinking for those. I have another one called the fake theft argument. There were a lot of riggers that kept putting forward this idea that if they gave you the file, there would just be mass rampant theft all across the community from people having this file. And then I have one called the Coke recipe. Because a bunch of riggers kept trying to compare, like, behind-the-scenes rigging to something as, like, a well-guarded secret as the Coke recipe, which is, my understanding, is not actually that well-guarded anymore. But they basically compared it to that, right? So the easiest one to kind of go through is, as I said, the CMO3 is mine. And this, again, this is just people that randomly keep saying, like, well, it's just mine because it is mine. So we had this one, says, I don't share my files ever. Basically, it's handing over all my techniques so that another rigger can copy the work that's taken me years to polish and claim as their own. What belongs to you is your assembled model, not the keys to my work. Few people understand that. I hate this, by the way, it's my work. Well, it's my brand, it's my identity. Which, by the way, as a VTuber, you should get full rights to your art for your model and full rights to your rigging. There should be nobody else that has claims to your model, because that opens you up to a situation like Melody was in, where she basically got screwed. Also, hi Kendra, would you like to join? Or is Kendra busy doing other things? If you would like to join, I could bring you in. I am in the AniTuber audit space, if you want to just pop in. We give Kendra a minute, chat. Well, Kendra's an artist, so Kendra might have some thoughts. Hi, Kenders. I'll go.
Pretty good.
Pretty good, pretty good.
This is, yeah, no, this situation gave me an aneurysm.
Have you been keeping up with any of it?
I have been keeping up with it so much. I told my family about it, and even they were like, what the heck?
Also, here, I'll share screen with you as I go through these. Because I've collected a collection of tweets.
Yes.
Which, yes, chat, by the way, today's going to be a Rev Says Desu, I read the tweets stream.
Listen, it never fails. It never fails.
We had this one. Because I love seeing live 2D rig discords on my feed because 90% of people talking about it are incorrect and entitled. Giving away my CMO3 is like giving away my newborn child. unless you pay me my written fee or ask extremely nicely and tell me why you want it, you're not getting it.
First off, that's a wet nurse. You're essentially a wet nurse. If we're really going with that analogy, you're the wet nurse.
Yeah, a lot of these analogies were really bad. I think the only honest analogy I saw, and I don't think the artist realized like how dumb it was that they said it, but they said it's like the McDonald's burger. Do you think I'm gonna give you the recipe? It's like, bitch, that you couldn't have a more honest comparison, because like, who the fuck cares about the McDonald's burger recipe?
Okay, first off, people have recreated here's my thing. I said this exactly like this. This is like the Vanta Black situation where the guy copyrighted Vanta Black, and it's like, you can't own the color black. You can't even own this one. It's black. It should be for everyone. But he's like, no, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to use it exclusively. So then one guy made the pinkest pink in the world and made everyone but him have rights to it. So the guy got mad, bought the pinkest pink, flipped people off with it, and everyone collectively was like, yeah, you're stupid, and we know how big of a loser you are for doing that. That is what these people are in a nutshell.
Exactly. Some of these are gonna get really long, by the way, chat. To me, it's similar to licensing. You paid for the MO3, not the CMO3. To me, getting the CMO3 means you intend to change my work in the future. I care how my art is presented, and I deserve any compensation for anyone profiting off my work.
This is like plumbers that go and say, plumbing is a craft. It's like, all right, plunge the toilet plunger.
There are many reasons for this, but I'll give mine. It's not just the product I would be giving, but my entire process. If you're handing over my file to someone else to add on to, they get to see my entire process to making rigs. It's like seeing how an artist makes the art, what brushes they use, and have all the layers before they get merged. We are valid for protecting our craft if we want to. So the two things with this bit, right? First off, artists like live stream their craft all the time. Like constantly. Like, I don't know the fuck you're talking about. Like, it's like if they gave away like all this secret information. They do. They live stream it. It's how some of them make extra money. Second off, your process is not special. You are what I would consider a technical art form. And there's nothing wrong with technical art forms, right? It does take a specific person to do them. However, once it's figured out, quote unquote, it's figured out. Everyone knows how to do it now. You're not special. What you're doing is like 99% exactly the same as everybody else.
Yep. You can't even compare it to a restaurant, because so many people are trying to compare it to like a restaurant and stuff. The reason why restaurants are special is because no matter how you can go to every single restaurant in the world, they will all taste different because they all cook it a different way. Not even just the recipe, the equipment and stuff that's already there. But guess what? An employee is not going to say, I own this McDonald's. It's, I'm a manager who's over this McDonald's who can get fired at any time. Mm-hmm. I tried getting into rigging, and even I know a little bit, and I don't know a lot, but I know at least about this. Every single last person here that says you have a license to this file, number one, no, you don't. This file specifically belongs to Live2D. If Live2D wanted to round out every single popular riggers creators, like go and snatch all your files from your PC, they legally technically can do so because you are basically being leased their program.
Yeah.
Now it would be unethical, but they can still do that. That's something that would be overstepping because that's exactly what you're doing.
Exactly. Thank you, Baked Buddhist. Says, are we talking about the birds and the bees of VTubing? Technically just the bees. And they're really nasty, like stingy bees too. They're not even like the cute honey bees. Crazy Koala Man says, what the hell are they smoking here? Apparently something pretty damn good. And then Internet Zen Master says, I'm an infrequent artist. Don't draw much these days, usually painting models. The rigor discourse makes me roll my eyes. Like Kendra said, this is like a plumber calling it a craft. So continuing, he says, just like making commission prices, proper prices for our time keeps bad clients away. Making a fee for a CMO3 makes sure clients take our work seriously and respect us. When I used to make my commission dirt cheap, I had a lot more clients that broke my TOS, treated me badly, etc. This is one of the things where I'm like, why do you care? Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like, so many of these riggers are so, and we're gonna get into it because I have a section called people will edit it. It's like, why do you care so much that it gets changed? You sold it. It's gone. You should not give a shit anymore. I just don't get it.
Like, I can understand. Like, here's the thing. It's one thing when you have, like, an actual model and you owned everything about it. Like, they were using Melody as an example. Even though what that guy did was wrong because she still bought all the rights, he still created it from the ground up. And even though it was messy, he still technically could have had some legal leeway in it because he did make it. These people didn't make the model. They didn't come up with the concept of the model. Some of them do. Some of them are artists and riggers. But you just come in after everyone's done. I could go to Iron Vertex and get higher quality than go to you if this is how you're going to act. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. Continues, it is my art, my creative expression. I don't want it to be changed from what I delivered because my name is attached to that rig and the client messed with it. It doesn't represent my work properly. This is why it isn't a default.
You're not the founder of Live 2D. Oh my gosh. Sound like you made Live 2D from the ground up. Shut up.
It's like so up their own ass. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ, guys, seriously?
Like, again, if you guys made Live 2D, like if it was like a group company thing where you were all startups and you made Live 2D, I would understand like messing with something that shouldn't be messed with, which, I mean, it's the internet. You should have expected that. But like, y'all are basically employees.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't the CEO. Y'all are paying this company $300 a month to access their program. That if at any point, again, they could just dip into your files anyway, steal everything, and then be done with you and just release everything as a template.
Yeah.
Now, again, it'd be unethical, but they legally could do it.
So he finishes with, this isn't the reason I do it. But even if it is just to add on, it is adding on to our work. Someone else besides the client will be profiting off our work, and we deserve compensation for that. The license between client and rigger is a one-time cost, not a license for the new rigger. This fee is a one-time fee to pay for other people to profit off our work. Again, we deserve to make profit off our work. I saw someone call us money hungry for this, but we deserve to be fairly compensated, even if it's VTuber standards and not general artist standards. Where in other industries, artists charge royalties for each use or for any profits made. Calling us money hungry is like us calling you broke. Let's not shame the other here.
You are money hungry. You are money hungry.
And I'm broke because I gave all my money to you. So you could be like a little bit nicer to me.
We had this conversation last time where people were talking about licensing fees and all that type of stuff. Again, if you want a proper license, make a contract, because way too many of y'all are like, oh, we can do we don't need a contract. The toss is the only thing I need. Yeah, so I would just read your toss and then just not follow your toss because like I just found you today and we're not really gonna work together. Like we might work together, but like at that point just make a real contract.
So have you ever watched the remake of The Lorax? The one that everybody kind of hated?
Yeah, I grew up with it.
And have you heard the story about like the difference between there was a cut song called Biggering, which was originally replaced with How Bad Can I Be?
Yes.
So one of the big criticisms, chat, with the song that's actually in the film called How Bad Can I Be, was people kept saying it was very unrealistic, or they felt it was very unrealistic, that this fairly normal, well-meaning guy could slowly, like, devolve into just being more and more greedy and evil, like, over such a short period of time. And I don't feel like I need to explain my comparison any further.
I mean, there are people that do it and convince themselves like the original Lorax, but there are other people who get convinced by close family members. I think both are important.
Well, I mean, just like one thing I've noticed with a lot of these riggers is this specific argument he's using about, like, I can't give it to you because you might go to somebody else to get it fixed. Okay, John Deere. Okay, literally every megacorp in the world that refuses to let you repair your own shit. Like, you're literally sitting here talking about, like, how you're just, like, a small guy trying to make money, and the first thing you go to try and, like, preserve money is, like, oh, let's just copy what Apple does and fuck people over.
Not only that, but, like, knowing the VTuber community, are you guys even paying your taxes?
There's a possibility that they're not.
You're not. You're being like, well, we have to make money in this space. Are you making this a business? Or if you make a certain amount of money, you gotta report that to the IRS, or I'm knocking at your door.
Yeah, chat says bro talks about greed yet sounds the greediest. Like, are you guys kidding? You like hear yourselves?
Like, just this entire situation genuinely made me, like, internally scream. I almost actually screamed several times because I'm just like, y'all are not I can't even tell if it's greed or sheer stupidity or a combination of both. I think it's the third option.
I just think it's so funny that all of them sound exactly like Melody's artist.
Yeah.
Every single one's like, you owe me residuals, you owe me more money, like, you got big off my work and I deserve that. Like, okay, be a VTuber yourself. Fuck off.
And here's the thing, even Melody's manager had more ground to stand on than these people because he made Melody from scratch. Like, yeah. He genuinely rigged it, modeled it, colored it, everything. These people did, like, one of, like, multiple steps that usually a 3D artist can do within, like, a day if they wanted to.
Yeah. We have this one. I actually saw this person pop up multiple times. The professional way to handle a rigging file is for the VTuber to seek consent from the original rigger and specify who this file should be shared with.
I'm pretty sure I see this person under every controversy, and they always make me want to throw myself out a window.
Yeah, this particular argument I thought was hella stupid, because the entire argument with the riggers is, I can't give you the file because then, like, you know, another rigger will have access to my secret sauce. And it's like, so your solution is to just talk to you about what rigger specifically to send it to you to send to. That doesn't fix the problem. The original rigger will directly share the file with the new rigger with a set of rules, including privacy terms or an NDA to protect their work, especially if you want the file to remain private.
That makes no sense. Yeah. What? Okay, again, some of this stuff makes sense when you're talking about the VTuber model itself. And I can understand NDA if it's like the artist or the VTuber themselves want to keep the thing private. What would you need an NDA for rigging?
Yeah. It's the secret sauce, Kendra. You can't share their secret sauce.
The secret sauce of another company that could literally yoink out of your own PC if they wanted to, by the way.
Yeah. The source model file shouldn't just be handed out to every rigger out there. Trust me. Some riggers who I have shared my files with before use the files for their own benefit and without my consent, and they made profit off of it. You as a VTuber have no experience or understanding of the rigging file value, so you need to be cautious and set up a proper protected process. Counterpoint. First off, every VTuber learns from other VTubers because we're all public, right? Like, our content is necessarily public, so yes, we do learn from each other. Second counterpoint. React content is absolutely taking over right now. It is one of the biggest types.
I think my entire brain exploded.
Yeah.
I think my brain exploded because I'm actually looking at this and I'm reading all of these words and I see this person's profile picture and I'm just like, every time I see you're on this controversy, you're always talking about a controversy. And it is like amazing how after every year after year after year, you still have the worst, dumbest takes that humanly cannot be explained.
Yeah. Some people just never learn. We have some short ones, by the way, that'll pop up. Like this one, it's not your rigging, though. Big advocate that if you don't like how something is handled, to make it yourself.
I can't say what I want to say right now.
I like that the guy replied to him, by the way. He says, I'm a big advocate for receiving things I paid for.
Listen, if I said what I wanted to say, I'd get Mizu banned, and I don't want to get Mizu banned.
Yeah. Thank you, Artemis. It says these riggers sound like Kaiser Permanente. You gotta visit the Kaiser doctor, the Kaiser dentist, the Kaiser pharmacy, and the Kaiser mortuary. And then Start Now says they want royalties. We'll show them what we did with the royals in the 1700s. Pure unfettered greed and control freaks. They deserve less.
Again, at least with the argument with artists, it makes sense. These people basically just want, I said this, y'all want basically the control of a mega corporation without any of the professionalism, legalism, or, any of like, or any of the ethics. You're just stupid.
Yeah.
I'm already dying.
We got people saying this should be standard practice. I just don't understand. The people who don't know how rigging works don't know you can make templates, copy deformers, copy physics settings, copy techniques. Sure, most people aren't doing that, but it's impossible to know who is and who isn't. Giving the CMO3 for another rigger to update is also a little bit like taking an artist PSD model file and having someone else draw toggles or outfits on it. It would misrepresent their art and their work.
Here's the thing. Here's how all this falls apart. In order to have Live 2D, you either have to get the monthly subscription or shell out $300 to get it for 3 years. VTubing, for the most part, is full of poor people, myself included. So unless you have $300 lying around and are just waiting for someone to drop files so that you could learn from it, which by the way is not a bad thing, what the heck, and you actually know what you're doing, you're not really going to understand what you're looking at in the first place.
Yeah, like, they don't understand. The only people that they're like super protective over their techniques and stuff are the evil megacorps. Everybody else is like, no, we should learn from each other. That's how it should be. We're like, no, we have to be like Apple. We can't let anybody know anything.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what Apple's doing right now.
This was somebody that was like kind of getting on my nerves a bit in general. And they said, why this is the CMO3 file is like liquid gold. As a rigging artist giving your CMO3, someone can reuse plus mass produce your work file for other models or their own commissions. Mass produce your file and profit off of your work. Take your techniques and your style. The credit will become confusing when a model that no longer looks like the original rig is still credited. So this was one that I think riggers really fucked themselves up on. Because a lot of people saw multiple tweets like this and said, if your rig can be so easily mass-produced to any model I feel like, why am I paying $2,000 for it?
Yeah.
And they can't answer. Now, like, some of them have started to walk it back and be like, well, actually, like, you technically can, but it looks really bad, and, like, you're paying for the professionalism. And it's like, it's not helping your case. It's really not.
Again, also, you have to know what you're doing and what you're looking at in the first place. If you don't know what you're doing or what you're looking at in the first place, it's not going to look good regardless of how much you fiddle around with it.
Yeah.
Like artists have VTuber bases that you can just put into Live 2D to practice, and just like you can just pay like what, maybe like $100 for one, $30 for others, and be like, oh hey, I'm learning.
Yeah.
What's your excuse?
It throws me off because they went really hard on this argument till their client started asking them, then why did I pay you like $1,000? And then suddenly they had to like walk it back and be like, no. I spent a lot of time on yours, like a full month's worth of time on yours.
That's nice. Now, explain the explanation of why I had to pay so much.
Yeah. They do agree with me though when they say rigging is a technical art form, which is what I said. Most people don't know the time and personal techniques that are put into models. A lot of big-name rigging artists don't show how to reproduce their style, because in rigging, style is everything, and that's what sets you apart. Someone gets a CM03 and literally can reproduce all the rigging artists' hard work spent on it, even to the point of mass selling it on a large scale or using it for their own commissions. The rigging artist is the only one who gets hurt. You pay for a cheeseburger at a restaurant, but you don't pay to know the recipe. Again, I love that they keep using this fucking cheeseburger thing, because you know what the cheeseburger recipe is? It's 2 pieces of bread, a burger patty, and a slice of cheese. Why do you guys keep making this comparison? It is...
Also, again, it falls apart because everybody's already started recreating it at home nowadays because of DIY and YouTube and stuff, so it doesn't matter. People found out how to make people know how to make McDonald's sweet teas now, because all you had to do is just make it sit in the metal for a while.
People figured out how to make the special Chick-fil-A sauce that's literally called Chick-fil-A sauce.
People one time recreated an entirety of Popeye's chicken because it tasted that good. It's not that hard to do if you're determined to do it. There's a guy who also, what is it? You know that story of that guy who lockpicked and stuff? Just
lockpick lawyer?
I think so. It was the guy who he lockpicked this one lock, then the company tried to sue him. Then as he was talking about the lawsuit, he was just unpicking like a ton of their locks and they dropped the lawsuit. It's not that hard if you're determined enough.
Yeah. I thank you, Internet Zen says, hold up, these riggers are using an app that operates with cloud storage and a license. In style in rigging, maybe I'm blind, but to me there is no style, just levels of complexity in rigging, yeah? Yeah, that's the thing.
That's true.
They all keep saying like, oh no, like my style comes through on it. It's like, I could tell you for a fact, I could have 200 riggers do unique models for the same character, and people would not be able to tell the difference between like 90% of them.
Yeah, that's because they all use the same tutorials, because get this, most of the best tutorials are from Colosso, from Korean and JP YouTubers.
Yeah.
And so they all get their same tutorials from that. Now, those people make sense why they're profiting, because they're doing a school on how to rig. Not, oh, I can't give you the file because rigging is my craft.
Exactly. I think, I have to come back to it later. I had a thing in my head. Oh, no. So one of the things I said was, I feel like as far as riggers who really need an NDA to protect their work, there's like probably 5 or 6 of them in existence. Not like in America, but like in existence flat out. There's probably 5 or 6 people that are so ridiculously good and clever at using the program that they genuinely deserve to have like some sort of NDA to protect their work.
Yeah, and you know why? Because they likely are already in the Live 2D company.
Yeah, that was, somebody replied and said, and you'll never know who they are because probably every single one of them already has an exclusivity contract with the company.
Yep.
We had this one. This guy actually replied to me. And he sent me this message back. It's like, why do you gotta be like, so mean and so rude to me? I'm such a nice guy.
If you call yourself a nice guy, I'm already sussed.
Yeah. As a live 2D rigger, I think many other riggers will also agree. We will give you the right file, but just know it will most likely be extra. You paid for rigging, which is often hundreds of hours of work. But from the comments, it looks like you didn't pay for the rig file. But let's do some math. Let's say 160 hours of work for a rig. By the way, I want to say this. Is like, I am not saying I could rig my own file yet, because I am kind of stupid when it comes to stuff like that. But when people say it takes me a full month to rig like a model, I think you're fucking lying to me. Or you're just that bad.
The only reason why it would take more than a month like that is, number one, obviously you're not a robot, so you're not going to work 24 hours a day. But number two, the model has to be complex. The only people who have models that complex are people who are already paying the professionals. Yeah,
paying them like $10,000.
So like stuff like, of course, Nanolith, stuff like stuff like Iron Vertex, stuff like really just all the big Korean JP ones that work with HoloLive and stuff. So there you go.
Said, let's say 160 hours of work for a rig. That's full-time, 1 month, which would be an average rig, nothing too crazy. They said they paid $2,000, I believe. 2,000 divided by 160 hours is 12.5 an hour, which is about the same as a McDonald's employee starting. I don't think they know what they're talking about with the numbers.
No. Hey, okay, so here's the thing. If you're a professional, so like I'm someone who's trying to get better at art. As you get better at art, you're gonna get faster and faster. Now, again, it depends on the complexity and stuff of what you're working on, but you're gonna get faster. The reason why company riggers charge that much for corporations, number one, the corporations will do that. They need their services. But also at the same time, their money's going not just to like their pockets just because they want free money. They're doing it to invest it into other things, including paying for another round of $300 to keep their live 2D program.
Also, Sartnow says the exact reason. Sartnow brought up the exact reason I put these two back to back. Schrodinger's rigging, the job is easy as shit and hard as hell, depending on what I need to convince you of. Like, think about that back and forth. Both of these people are actually, like, fairly used live 2D riggers. You have one saying that they can't give out the file because you could easily mass produce it for as many models as you felt like. And then you have another person saying that no matter what, it's going to take like 160 hours and they couldn't possibly like let you get a hold of the file because it's super important. Sparky says, I'm learning how to do this after and I'm dumping all the files for everyone. And then Winter says, my work is so complex and difficult, it could take months before I finish. I charge for the hour, by the way.
Listen, Sparky, I'm going to join you. I need to start learning how to rig my own self so that I can see if these people are lying or not.
People have taken to calling it Schrodinger's rigger. There's actually multiple people that have referred to it as that now. But this part is why the rigs are expensive. You're paying upfront for like a month or more of labor. And now you want all of our techniques and physics settings? We spent years developing just to be included? Nope, that's extra. Simple as that. I understand you're frustrated because your rigger disappeared on you. That sucks, and they suck for doing that. And I agree that if they were going to just up and disappear, they could have given you the rig file since they're leaving you out to dry. And if they aren't even rigging it anymore, they shouldn't care about gatekeeping the file. But to think that we should all just give the rig file as a standard would only raise the prices of rigs.
Why would it raise the prices of rigs?
Which would price even more people out of getting a model. What is he talking about?
Again, what do you mean you'd have to raise the prices of rigs? You already have $2,000. I already gave you the art. You're already rigging by that much. what are you doing behind the scenes that it cost $2,000 alone just to rig it, and you can't just export a file?
Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. If we started handing out the rig files, the prices would go up. Why? For what purpose? It continues. The best solution is just having the rig file as an added option, so it doesn't price people out that don't care to have it. And if you are concerned about your rigger getting too busy or ghosting you, then you can go for that option. Also, personally, if I knew I couldn't do your rig commission but you needed it, I'd be okay giving my rig file to another rigger I trusted, because I couldn't service you in a timely fashion. Don't use the word service for this. Don't.
You know the character Stink Meaner from Boondocks?
Yeah. Yes.
You know that one time he called the grandpa and called him you know, the BA nigga.
Yeah.
That one. I just want to play that song right now. I got it on my phone right now. If I really wanted to, I could just play it into the microphone, because that's exactly what this guy sounds like. That he sounds exactly like that, but even worse.
It continues. I feel like most riggers would be okay with it too. We aren't all trying to scam you. We're protecting ourselves and businesses because, just like you lot of us have been burned in the past. You have your trauma, we have ours. But in all honesty, IDK, if you're actually looking for a solution and instead just crashing out on Twitter, do you think this drama would change for the better? No. I don't think riggers have like any intent of doing any sort of introspection and realizing that they're immediately pissing off every potential future client. And that a lot of VTubers right now currently have like a blacklist of like 70 riggers that will never get work from them.
Yeah. Oh, I've been blocking everyone like crazy who's been defending this, especially some of them who are like, yeah, Mutual, you go with that. And I'm like, yeah, you I never want to see your face ever again, because I'm going to tackle people on the spot.
Yep. So I have another section here. I called it the Coke recipe. Because a lot of people kept trying to be like, well, you know, it's my special secret sauce. Like this one where they said, when you buy software, you don't own the developer tools used to make it. When you buy a car, you don't own the factory that built it. When you buy art, you don't own the brushes I used to paint it. It's like these ridiculous comparison.
Every single one of these is, if you don't buy, you don't own the developer tools used to make it. Guess what? We have developer YouTubers who still have insight into the company and how they're able to work, and how some of them are actually able to get their hands on the developer tools to produce them for everyone else, so that in case they need it, they have it. The car doesn't make sense because you don't own the car. You don't own the car or the factory anyway. The car people don't own that stuff that they make the cars with anyway.
Yeah.
And the art doesn't make sense because you don't own the brushes either. Because unlike you and me, we're not going to go out and go find a bunch of specific type of feather brushes or whatever to make our own brushes. This guy. I think I'm going to explode.
They're very intelligent, Kendra.
And I want them to explode with me. Not I don't want them to die. I specifically want all of us to simultaneously explode where we stand.
By the way, I do have to clarify that this person is, in fact, they speak English as their first language. So the fact that they didn't know that chef was a term just kind of makes me laugh. They said,
oh, you saw this one too.
Bro, a cooker will never give his recipe. Same for a rigger. You can literally copy everything. The physics, the parameters, the deformers, the technique. Of course we don't give it. And then the original guy replied, bro, I'm so sick of this comparison with food. Recipes are almost always shared. And they said, literally, just example. Want another one? Did Coca-Cola shared their recipe? Did Apple share how they made their phone? No. Fun fact, Apple is currently being sued over the right to repair and literally not sharing how their phone works.
Not only that, they also got sued. They also got told by the EU government, either get rid of your lightning cable or you will stop selling Apple products here. Now all of a sudden their newer phones are all USB-C because they kept being so exclusive because they were being greedy and wanted more money.
Yeah. Like, people keep comparing themselves to, like, the worst megacorps in the world, which is why I started comparing them to Nestle, and suddenly nobody wanted to talk about it. Like, yeah, I agree. You're acting just like the Nestle Corporation, and suddenly it's like, no, not that one. Not that one. What? You don't want to steal water out of the mouths of, like, people that are dying of thirst?
No, more like, all right, I'm gonna give it to you. Now, go into your PC and go delete it for me.
Some people were quoting that, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but Konami updated their terms of service at one point, and, like, hidden in it at the bottom was, like, if you get banned from one of our games, you're required to destroy all digital and physical copies of the game.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was so stupid.
And people are quoting that back at them, be like, is this really, like, what you aspire to be?
Alright, guys, I gotta go destroy my mini arcade machine I got for my birthday 2 or 3 years ago. I'll be right back.
It might not have been Konami, chat. I'd have to double check. It was one of the major gaming companies that it got leaked. Or it didn't get leaked. It showed up in one of their new games, and everybody was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, okay, come, make me destroy it. Sue me in court.
No,
Your Honor, we banned them from the game. They have to destroy the disc.
Oh, this Ubisoft. Ubisoft did it. Oh, this is beautiful.
It's so funny. Another person, you don't buy a meal and expect the recipe, or clothes and expect the sewing patterns. You don't get the molds with the figurines, the source code with the game, or the blueprints with the apartment. Should I go on? Fun fact, Stop Killing Games is kind of about getting the source code with the game. And
Also,
what do they mean,
you
blueprints with the apartment? It's called your floor plan, and yes, you do get that with your home.
Yeah, not only that, they give that to you so that in case you need to repair it, you know, it's available at the city hall if it's readily available, because depending on how old or new your house is, they'll give it to you so that you can actually fix up your place so that you're not a waste of space.
I just love how many of these people just are, like, outing themselves as not knowing how any part of the world works.
Also, molds and figurines don't count because if somebody releases the 3D files, you can just make any mold you want. Or better yet, you can recreate the mold. This would be like if you were the company who made the mold. You were the molding artist. Someone came to you to mold it, and then after they made your figurine, they're like, okay, I need you to give me back the figurine because it's a part of my craft.
Yeah, and theoretically, you could take it, and you could pour wax over it and make another mold.
Yup.
We got, I think the premise is probably wrong. The amount this person paid was only for the, quote, provision of a rigged model, unquote. Not for, quote, disclosure of all the rigging techniques used on that model, unquote. If he wants, quote, disclosure of the techniques used for him, unquote, I hope he understands that this is a completely different product from what he purchased. After that, I think he should tell his rigger and ask if it's possible to purchase it. Of course, whether or not they'll sell it to him is up to the rigger. They've been trying to, like, do this thing a lot lately, with the dancing around the terms used. From now on, every time I talk to, like, an artist, I'm gonna be like, okay, so just so we're clear, this is work for hire. I own everything.
Ugh, everybody here is stupid.
Yeah. This one replies, they usually don't provide the project file, especially for professional or advanced riggers, because it contains their own techniques and workflow. It's basically their secret recipe. Those techniques are the result of years of hard work, learning, and trial and error. just so we're clear, 99% of it was you learning from other people. So let's like stop pretending that you guys like figured everything out completely on your own. None of you did.
Not only that, even the people that were professional, unless you were some of the OGs that went into Live 2D before it became a subscription service, I'm not taking any advice from you.
Yep. Every rigger has their own methods that make their work unique. From a single project file, someone can create templates, break down the setup step by step, and learn techniques that can be applied to future projects. It's similar to a restaurant. Every restaurant has its own secret recipe. That's why you typically need to pay extra if you want to access the recipe. Most restaurants don't, in fact, have their own secret recipe. They have, like, they pull from, like, a common grouping of recipes that have been, like, shared amongst people for thousands of years at this point.
Yup. Not only that, even when they do share it amongst themselves, sometimes the recipe is that deep fryer that's been sitting there for 10 years makes a good mean chicken sandwich.
Yeah, Carrot Maid has it. This feels like such a boomer thing where they refuse to mentor people that come after. So there was a time where I wanted to learn like all the different techniques and stuff to be like a photographer. So I found photographers in my area and I sent them emails basically asking if they needed like a little protege to help out. And basically all of them ghosted me except for like one older guy. And when I came in, he basically told me that the only reason he even bothered to talk to me was that he is probably retiring soon. But he was like, basically nobody in the area will be willing to like mentor you at all because they see you as competition.
Okay, bro. You're a camera.
Yeah.
Most of the job is done in Photoshop. Calm down.
Well, I mean, the thing is, he was right. Nobody else would ever talk to me. I got... like, one person agreed to talk to me once and then ghosted me immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how they are. Like, everybody thinks they've got their super special secret sauce and they never want to help anybody else come up. They want to keep everybody else down.
These are the same people that in a couple of years, they're going to be like, the camera photography is a dying art. I wonder why the youth is not invested. The youth shunned.
But what if I notice some small mistakes and don't want to pay another $300 for it? Well, if it's just small mistakes, that could easily be fixed. You can simply ask your rigger to fix it. Most riggers provide after-sales support, which usually includes fixing bugs, clipping issues, or other minor mistakes.
Okay, you said most. That means there's a couple of riggers who don't. You don't seem like that type of person to do that.
Yeah. This was one that also kind of got on my nerves a lot when I read it. It says, in regards to the CMO3 debate, just commission a rigger who is comfortable with giving you the file. Just also expect to pay more for that because it does include their trade, craft, and institutional knowledge. Don't expect every rigger to be okay with it. Be upfront from the start. And somebody replied, so what's your opinion on right to repair? Because the only way to be consistent here is to say people have no right to repair. He replies, I think that's a stretch and they're not comparable. One is a car and the other is a live 2D model. One is responsible for keeping you safe on the road at potentially lethal speeds. The other is something that gets special blush toggles.
A car is a luxury, by the way.
Also, telling people they aren't allowed to do their own work and edit their own car actually probably has more of a legitimate like stance than saying they don't have a right to edit their own live 2D model. For the exact reason you stated, a car is on the road at potentially lethal speeds with other people, so probably you shouldn't just let any Tom, Dick, and Harry start fucking around with the engine. There's genuinely more of an argument for that than, oh, you shouldn't be able to, like, mess with your, like, physics. That's, how dare you want that?
If anything, that's actually the perfect example because the whole point of a car is, like you said, not everybody can repair a car because that's why they're able to charge you so much because not everybody can repair a car. Meanwhile, with something like a Live 2D or say, I don't know, a blender that needs like one part replaced, the whole point of right to repair is if the part is available, it should be available and not gatekeeped off and then have its warranty voided because I decided to unscrew it.
Yeah.
Same with a live 2D. If it's that simple, let me fix it, or else I'm going to sue you.
I also think it's funny that the guy only said you have to be consistent and say people have no right to repair. Never said anything about car. I don't know why he immediately jumped to car, because in fact, the two things that right to repair is most known for are not cars. The first one is tractors, and the second one is phones. Specifically Apple phones, and specifically John Deere tractors. At no point has right to repair in the context of a car been really brought up on any, like, mass degree. Right?
Yep.
It's always John Deere tractors and Apple phones. So I don't know where you got car from.
Especially since, again, not everybody can do cars. And we've had people do cars over the years. And listen, some people just suck at doing cars. Just take it to a mechanic.
And then we have homie is legit saying you should be handed the recipe because you bought a Coke. They really wanted to stick with the whole Coke recipe thing, which is why I titled this section Coke recipe. And then guy replies, homie is saying I paid a lot of money for something and it's gone because my rigger ghosted.
You know, for a medium for the VTuber medium known to have a lot of people who can't cook or clean or sweep or to have basic life experience for themselves, they use a lot of recipe analogies.
Yeah. It's probably because they don't actually know how recipes work. So in relation to the CMO3 is mine and the Coke recipe, I have another section that's just called the fake theft argument. This one is... I'll put this one at the end and we'll come back to it. It's still technically related. This is because people use warp deformers there and use it as a template for their own models and basically steal the rig with new model art. Again, we have to go back to the start where, on the one hand, rigs take like a full month and thousands of dollars. On the other hand, if you just had the files, you could mass produce it that afternoon.
So I can actually talk about this because I fiddle around with Live 2D enough to know what warp deformers are. Those things are hard to use.
Yeah.
You literally cannot just slap a deformer or just slap any deformants on there and then just expect it to start moving immediately. That stuff is hard.
Yeah.
I hated it. Oh my god.
We had, in absolutely no world would people give the rigging file just because you paid thousands. I don't know why you guys, like, say this so openly, because it just makes you sound ridiculous. Why in the world do you think you would have these files just because you paid thousands of dollars? Did you not think about, like, that before you said it? Like...
Mizu. I think they're retarded.
They are.
This one specifically.
It takes days to rig your models, and the back end is not for you anyways. Remember, we have gone from it takes 160 hours, over a month, and thousands of dollars, and it is a deeply complex process, to it takes days. I think a lot of them know that it doesn't take as long as they say it does, and they're kind of starting to fib about it.
The only ones I believe that for now are the people that either, again, if it takes days, it's probably because you suck at it, and you're trying to understand what it is that you're trying to fiddle around with. Meanwhile, the corporations, that, you know, Iron Vertex and all them, they're fast because they've been doing this since before VTubing started.
Yeah. And thank you, Amiss Player. They sent something called Flow State for 200 jewels. I've been enjoying the jewels thing. The jewels are funny.
Yeah, they're cute. I like them.
This is like saying, hey, you want to steal my process and steal any trade secrets? Or even get the PSD of illustration or the paintbrush the artist painting? Guys, can we use our brains for a second and think about I could tell you this, by the way. I don't know why people keep saying this, but a PSD file is not gonna just make you good at art. I don't know why people are like so convinced that this is an apt comparison. But if you get an artist PSD file, you're gonna be like, oh look, things are on different layers, and
Also,
they drew it.
not only that, but if the art is high quality enough, they're gonna draw over it anyway because it won't look really all that different.
Yeah.
I've seen this all the time on like Instagram. Instagram alone.
Like, yeah, I'm sure if you just had Sakimi-chan's PSD, you would be able to draw like her in an afternoon. I'm convinced that's just all you need. You just need to see the PSD and you're set.
Gosh, if I look at the PSD of an animator, I'm totally gonna be in the anime industry, guys. I know how to use vector layers. I could totally draw like this industry person.
Like, they keep saying this, is like, yeah, you might get, like, some level of technical knowledge, right? Like, seeing that a professional artist separates certain things into different layers, that might help you better streamline your workflow. But it's not just gonna make you an artist like them just by seeing it. Like, I don't know why they keep doing this.
Heck, listen, I'm an example of someone who will look at a professional's workload and still be confused what I'm looking at until I physically hold it. And even then, I'm still going to be confused because I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah. It says, sure, if you want it, ask the artist. Some are willing, especially if they've left the industry, so you can send it to someone else. However, most riggers will not even touch someone else's file, as everyone's process isn't the same, and they would have to most likely start from scratch anyways. If you gotta tweak something, learn how to tweak in VTube Studio, or give that feedback to the rigger.
I'm tweaking right now. I'm tweaking at the fact that you're just wrong and you need to get off the internet.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of a rigger saying they wouldn't take the old CMO3. Like...
This is the first time people are hearing about CML3s.
Yeah. I actually have that one in a section called Clients Are Idiots. It says we got this one. I do not think that clients should be entitled to source files without at least paying a fee. I've had harm done to me because I would give my clients my source files like it was nothing. I learned my lesson. I was torn between putting this one in fake theft argument and people edit it, but I just put it in fake theft argument because I don't actually know what they mean by harm was done to me. Like, I genuinely have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure they're just stupid.
Yeah.
And lying.
A rigger with access to the source files can copy and paste your deformers to other models and replicate your work. Editing the rig is just as bad as editing art. The original file is worth way more than the tracking file. Leave them out makes the product cheaper for the client.
Oh. You know what I think about that? Your mom.
I just love it. Like, they keep doing the whole, you could just copy paste it anywhere thing. Okay, so why does it take you months and so much money then? Why didn't you just copy and paste your last one on it? Is it because that's not true and you know it's not true? And then this one. So I think people know what this one is talking about, but I'll explain it anyways in a minute. This a rigger once mass-produced models by copying and pasting deformers across hundreds of models for fast model turnaround times without the client's knowledge. They were canceled for this and other reasons we seem to have forgotten why we don't mass-produce. So first off, they're talking about Kevin. Second off, Kevin has not been canceled. Kevin is still one of the most sought-after riggers in the space. Which is why I think they didn't say his name, because if you say his name, everybody knows you're full of shit.
Yeah, that's why I went down and immediately was like, number one, he isn't canceled. In fact, he has a job at he had a job at Disney at one point, if you look into his portfolio outside of VTubing, because a lot of these people have the narrow mind of an anthill.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So they continue with some other stuff. Quality takes a massive hit. Time fixing things is still a huge factor, and it wouldn't be $100. It would still be in the high dollar to dollar. Your commission here obviously exists, and if you take advantage of that, good. Mass production of top-line models? No. Expensive models don't know what range the quote retweet has in mind, tend to be hand-tailored to the unique features of the client's designs. It's common to see 80 to 200 hours on fully custom models. Apply a wage, not minimum, because everyone deserves better, to those numbers, and it gets high. Or maybe you need to learn to speed up your workflow.
Not only that, but again, a lot of because I saw the Kevin stuff go down in real time. It's like, y'all are, so what you're saying, because I assumed that people did use bases, and people are like, well, we did it from scratch, and it's like, no wonder why it takes you so long. Y'all are stupid and don't know how to work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. There was a whole bunch of people, chat, if you don't remember, in the Kevin drama, that were like, wait, everybody else wasn't using bases already? Because Kevin showed that you can use bases, so everybody was like, well, if you can use them, why isn't everyone? And
not only that,
it suddenly became a huge question.
It's not even, like, again, it's not even, you can't even, like, be like, oh, well, everything is tailor-made. Even game companies. There was, like, a controversy where this one game company reused the Spider-Man swing from one of the Spider-Man games. And some people tried to make it into a controversy, but the majority was like, yeah, of course everybody has access to these types of things. It's just funny to see it in other games and stuff. Yeah. Why is this an issue again?
I also have to point out, because a lot of people apparently didn't realize this, Kevin was not canceled for using bases, or they didn't attempt to cancel Kevin for using bases. Nanolis attempted to cancel Kevin for editing her art in order to make it work with his rigging. So it started with someone trying to cancel him because he's like, I thought my model was being made for the ground up, and it was so disappointing. And then Nanolis came in and was like, yeah. It was an Iron Mouse model.
Iron Mouse. And yes, it was the Iron Mouse model. And then the thing is she showed a picture of the debut, but then other fans of Iron Mouse were like, hey, so here's the thing that happened afterwards. He clearly fixed it. Did you ever, like, talk to him about it? And she was like, well, no, I didn't really want to talk to him about it. And everyone collectively was like, go talk to him. Stop being stupid.
Yeah. People were they were just, like, excited to cancel him because Kevin makes a lot of kind of sus assets, which is why people like him. They think the assets are funny. And then people immediately try and cancel him every time. And they always want to kick him out of VTubing because, again, these people are so narrow-minded. Meanwhile, he's literally has, like, a Disney job. Yeah. Sparky says people got mad because Kevin told the secret, which I've always thought was a possibility. Because people did, for the longest time after that, kind of side-eye riggers for a little bit. But I think everybody was just like, you know what? We'll let it slide. It was one time. We'll let it slide. And now it's bringing the conversation back up, and they're just admitting it themselves that, well, if I had the files, I'd do it super easy. So why aren't you? Again, it's like, if it's so easy, then why is everybody not doing it? Oh, is it because of time and money? Is it because you're already backstabbing each other behind the scenes and you're not wanting to admit it yet? Is that it? Yeah. Because no one brought up backstabbing. Only the riggers brought up backstabbing. Exactly. The next section I have is just called People Edit It. And this is more of a personal feeling, right? If you are an artist and you sell your art to a client, you should not give a shit that they turn around and edit it in any way. And a lot of artists are like, well, you know, it doesn't show me it doesn't show like my, you know, how I made the art if they edit it. Well, good. Your client is not supposed to be your portfolio. Your portfolio is supposed to be your portfolio. If somebody asks you what kind of work you do, and you say, oh, you should go check Bao's account, I did this piece of work on Bao's account, you are a shitty artist. What you're supposed to do is to hand them a file or direct them to your personal file and be like, well, this is all the different work I've done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I don't understand. Like, I think a fantastic example is I went to Kevin's thing today, like his link tree or whatever it is. I forget which one he uses. He uses one of them. And in his commission section, he has videos of all the different models he's rigged. That is what you were supposed to do. You're not supposed to say, oh, I've rigged for Bao, Iron Mouse, Nyanners, yada yada. If you want to see my work, go look at them. You say, no, this is the work I've done.
That's what I mean. These people are narrow-minded and they think, oh, well, everybody knows them. And it's like, no, I don't. That's why I came to you. Because I want to know what you do.
Exactly. Like, you need to start actually having a portfolio and stop expecting your clients to be a portfolio for you. And they said, I keep seeing rigger discourse, but one of the major reasons why I never shared my original file was because someone changed my rig without permission. They commissioned someone else to make it better, so it became a collab with another rigger without me knowing, lol. Like, okay, I don't care.
Number one, everybody keeps saying, well, I gave it to a client, and it's like, so, who cares? Not only who cares, it's like, who?
Yeah.
If it's such a big deal, like, did you Vega tweet about it? Did you like blacklist them? This is just boo-hoo, I guess.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry they edited your work. Do you want me to play you a song on the world's smallest violin? Like, you know what you got is compensation for them editing your work? You got money. You got paid. Like, I don't know what you want me to say to you. You made your money. Fuck off.
I have these thousands of dollars, prestige, the respect of my peers, all that useless crap.
Useless crap like that. I just want all the control in the world. Is that so much to ask? I deserve to own all the art.
You're an evil monster.
I fucking love Big Jack Horner.
Oh, 100%.
I love the one where the cricket points at him, the meme somebody made, where the cricket points at him and goes, "You're racist." And he says, "Took you long enough." You're a racist. He says, "Took you long enough, rigger," and then flicks him off. Oh, it's so funny.
These people are not that bright.
Oh, they're so dumb. We have, you can't make changes to an artist's work without permission. Same thing goes for rigging. You are not allowed to make changes to it without the rig artist permission. So in what world do you want the file that lets you directly edit it unless to make changes to it? I'm going to tell you the secret. Yeah, I am going to make changes to it. That's the point.
Not only that, I have the original file in case you lose the file. It's almost like you're supposed to have multiple copies that VTube Studio literally tells you always have multiple copies in different places all the time.
I also like this first person that says, since you gotta request the PSD files for art, people don't normally request the PSD files for art because they don't need them. You need your CM03 for the future. You don't need the PSD for, like, your, you know, bust up art piece that you use as your profile picture. Most people aren't going to do anything with that ever. CM03 does come up later. You do need it later. The reason artists don't offer the editable files out of a commission for free is because it can easily be edited, reused, or vandalized. This works tenfold for riggers. Some artists offer editables as extras, some don't. It's just a safety measure.
I'm gonna be real. I think some of the people responding that weren't riggers are literally just repeating it because they all share one dumb brain cell and it's failing each and every one of them.
Oh, 100%. Welcome to the puddle, Arden Okira. Were you not following on Twitch? You've been here for a while. Or maybe did something else happen on Twitch? No, it's a follow. Okay, well, I guess it's just, yeah. Alright.
They wanted to make sure.
Fair. I'm not giving someone my rig file. Sorry. What? So they can go in and ruin my work? You really only need the rig file if you're going to multiple artists for things, which I am a one-stop shop for rig and rebridger. Or if for some reason I ever stopped rigging, you could pay extra for the CMO file, just like everyone else, and that has been standard in the industry for years.
I'm not paying extra. If I'm paying 2K, I expect your kidney.
Yeah. But you have a bunch of people that keep saying this has been industry standard for years. And it's like, no, it hasn't. I don't know. Thank you for the but like, I don't know who told you guys this. It's never been industry standard. Where did you get this idea from? Who told you that?
The only way it would be industry standard is if you know that the CMO file is important. And you're just refusing to give it to them anyway, just because you want some weird power trip. Like,
exactly.
Okay.
Noir says if I buy a Picasso, I'm allowed to add mustaches to all the people in it if I want. There's no way these people would say they're better than Picasso. And then this one, this is actually a very famous artist. I think most people will recognize the name. They said, I think it's because most riggers have had bad experiences with the CMO3 being edited without their knowledge. If a client wants a new update and I'm not available, I don't mind handing the CMO3 directly to the other rigger. That way I know exactly who the files go to. And we have a professional understanding that they will only touch the new stuff without editing any of the base rig, unless permission is granted. PSDs get edited far less often from what I personally witnessed. Other Live 2 riggers may have their own reasons, but this is just mine.
I see they have you blocked.
Yeah, no, they do. For whatever reason.
If you have a blue one.
Possibly because of this. But yeah, they do the customizable VTuber models that everybody talks about. 120k followers.
Listen, I understand Suika because I like Suika's art. I don't like you that much. Didn't you get in trouble for something dumb last year that was easily preventable?
I believe they did.
Wait, I remember now. She got in trouble because she tried to claim that someone was ripping off her quote-unquote style, and it was literally the most generic thing ever.
Yeah. 50% of Twitter has Mizu blocked right now. Yeah. Mizu's the messenger they want to shoot, but their aim is shit. Thank you, Lord Kagai, for the goat trophy. Apparently that's one of the jewel things you can send. It's a goat trophy. It's a golden goat. Some of these jewel things are funny.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But that was my category. I just called people edit it. Is people that are complaining way too much about like, oh, you're gonna edit my stuff. Like, yes, because I need to in the future. Also, yes, I do think Suika may have made the powder model that Powder used, and then tried to revoke access to it.
No, that was no. What is it? So Suika was the one that made that one customizable model. Then they got in trouble because then all the black VTubers came out and was like, can you make black hairstyles? And then she did the worst job possible.
Oh, I got a mention on Lydia's news. Interesting. I don't think I've ever spoken to Lydia. Thank you, Noir, for the gold coin. In Internet Zen Masters, question, who the hell set this standard? Is there a guild or union setting these standards? Or are you riggers talking out your asses? Just like all the artists holding VTubers hostage?
Again, most of the popular riggers are not English. And if they are in Iron Vertex. or Kevin, because they're all like in a company or have their own small business, that means that somebody here is speaking Japanese or Korean, and I don't believe you.
Didn't block you, right? No, I'm pretty sure Lydia's never blocked me, if that's who we're talking about. There's way too many Lydias, though. I wouldn't be able to find it. Unless I'm just spelling it wrong. Yeah, there I am. No, I'm not blocked. I'm good. I don't think Lydia ever would. She just does news.
Yeah.
My next section I just called it entitled. I mentioned this at the top of the stream. It's just kind of people that either they accuse clients of being entitled, or they talk about how they're entitled to not giving you anything. Specifically, I'm seeing a lot of debate on whether or not the client deserves to own the model rigging CMO3 file. I did a commission for a client and sent them the finished products. Did I send them my PSD files and brushes too? No. As a client, when paying for a service or product, that does not mean I have the right to own the developers or artist recipes. They give you the recipe, you can mass produce their work and profit from it, exploiting the original owners.
You know, this argument falls apart because you can buy brushes on Clip Studio Paint, and everybody cites like the same 5 brushes.
Yeah, I think there's like a skin texture, there's a body hair texture, there's a regular hair texture. I think there's one for like sweat.
Yep. There's also the same cream brush that everybody uses because it's made by the one famous JP artist, because it's actually a really good brush. People share all the time. You're just dumb. Also, stop using recipe. We know y'all don't know how to cook and only order In-N-Out 5 days a week.
Exactly. So there are plenty of trustworthy and reliable, many artists prohibit having their work edited or reproduced in any form. Read their TOS. If you need to have anything tweaked, please ask your artist. There are plenty of trustworthy and reliable artists out there with a range of prices, but you need to research thoroughly so you don't risk getting ghosted and potentially losing thousands of dollars.
You can't potentially get ghosted if they ghost you.
Yeah.
No one can predict ghosting.
Also, you know what else I could do to prevent getting screwed over and ghosted? Getting my files.
These are VTubers that want to suck up to them so badly because they want to be seen as favorable. And it's like, no, all you're doing is feeding into their egos, and then they're still going to charge you thousands of dollars.
Basically, yeah. This is like asking for the animation files after watching a movie at the theaters. You have no right to claim the film or the animation files. So how's this any different? You're paying that much because all that effort is going for you only and not a mob of users.
This falls apart because you can buy the cells of older anime online, and if somebody can, they can photocopy the character sheets from the production and put them in art books. This person is stupid.
Sparky says, I'm not telling you what 10mm socket I use.
And I say this as someone who does buy art books, and I have like a couple of character sheets that were like used in production. It's expensive, but it's still available. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. Avenge says it's like these artists do not know how to run a business.
I could have told you that yesterday.
And Ifcia says, just give the file, Rigga. I literally put any of these that I had bookmarked are literally in a bookmark file called Riggas.
Listen, can a Rigga borrow a file?
If you are unhappy with the practices of the illustrators and riggers, learn to do it yourself or shut the fuck up. I always love these.
You don't know how to do anything either. You have no life skills.
We have people love complaining about artists and riggers so much lately. They are the backbone of this entire community. Respect them and their wishes, or don't be a VTuber. I would love for these people to just learn to do it for themselves, since they clearly have no respect for other people's work.
Oh, I remember this person. They got in trouble because everyone collectively wanted to support them. Then they said something that was really, really stupid, and then they went on a blocking spree.
Yeah, I'm one of the people they block. But I always hate this. Well, artists are the backbone of the VTuber community. Your VTuber wouldn't exist without us. Your job wouldn't exist without me. Nobody would be paying your ass.
Oh, no, here's the thing. Their job exists. The problem is that their mind is as narrow as an anthill. Any normal person who, if you hang around, I don't know, the Japanese side of VTubing, Live 2D isn't just used for, Live 2D and VTubing. It's used for music videos, promotional videos, all those types of things. But these people are so dumb. They don't even know how to do that because they'd rather just get thousands of dollars once a year for a Live 2D model.
Exactly. It's very clear from this you don't actually know anything about the work that goes into a rig and why an artist might want to keep that work protected. I might have touched on this one twice. This is a communication issue. If you want the files, commission an artist rigger that will offer that service. They are providing a service and they're allowed to set their terms and prices. Simple as that. And we're allowed to call them out for being like shitty. Like I always hate when we're allowed to set whatever our prices are, and I'm allowed to say your prices are bullshit.
I'm allowed to also just say you're stupid and then leave and then mute you or block you so you can't talk anymore.
Exactly, yeah. Some of these people have no idea who they are. Like this person has 38k followers and their profile says BIPOC Creator of the Year.
Huh?
I forget what.
How are you? I think she's botted.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
How do you have that many followers and only 51 likes? I'm just saying.
Some of these do make me laugh because it's like, does nobody interact with your account? Surprised they don't have you blocked. They probably haven't met me yet. We have absolutely not. The CMO3 file is the intellectual property of the rigger by default.
Oh, and this idiot.
You shouldn't expect it in the delivered files unless you specifically paid for it. The same way you don't get the right to make merch off just any art piece you commission.
I saw this earlier. I was so mad. I saw this in the morning and I was like, you know what? I want to have a good day today. Apparently I'm not allowed to do that on Twitter. I should have known. So I just went off.
I can see you down here. Not how intellectual rights work. That requires the rigger to copyright it first off, and they can't even do that because they'd have to be the owner of the Live 2D itself. If you're going to speak nonsense, do it offline and actually learn what intellectual rights are.
I'm sorry.
They replied, wrong, so wrong. Please take your own advice and do not speak nonsense under my post. Source, DACS, a non-profit organization dedicated to championing, protecting, and managing the rights of artists. They quote this, but the thing is, and I've mentioned stuff like this before, it is not that simple with VTuber stuff. Because the VTuber is a brand, and for like example, right? Mizu, like as a concept, is my intellectual property. It does not matter what I commission you for. Mizu himself is mine.
Yep.
And it is going to be hard for you to convince a judge that you own the way I move.
Not only that, because I said it in like I think either this one, because it was like 2 tweets, or I said it with someone else. Not only would you have to own Live 2D itself, even if you did own it, because I created the concept, that is not a solely your copyright. That's a joint patent between me and you. So that means my opinion still matters more than you.
Yep. And Internet Zen Master says, learn to do it yourself or shut the F off. This sentiment right here is why AI art is taking off on the EN side of VTubing. Because these MiG-15s are just so insufferable, VTubers turned to AI and became from pure spite. Now, this was one of the things I said the other day, was that more people were becoming a lot more sympathetic to AI because of stuff like this. Because, like, why am I supposed to look negatively on AI when you're just going to treat me like shit? You're like, but AI hurts me and my community. Yeah, well, you and your community have kind of treated me like garbage, so I don't see why I care that it hurts you. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, I guess.
Dumpy.
And then we got, please check the TOS closely. Just because something is expensive does not mean you're buying every part of it. I don't know the situation, but seeing the cost complaint when issues come up always hurts. Those thousands of dollars typically only barely cost the cover of labor. I like...
You know, it's a good example.
I don't know what you guys understand how much the average person makes in a month. When you're like, thousands of dollars only barely covers my costs. What are you spending your money on? What?
Here's the thing. I said it best because I had to explain this to family. So, say you work for the government. And I already know you already had one in the past. But say you work for the government. And you, as the accountant, work for the government. And then a client goes to you because they can't access the government directly, but they go to you to file their taxes and do, basically they have you file their taxes. You as the artist or you as the accountant know that this specific document they need is 10 pages. You give them the pages, they go and do their thing, and they realize, oh, they only have 9 pages. And so they're told by the other person, hey, go get the 10th page. You go back and it's like, hey, so I paid the price of 10 pages and I only have 9. Can you give me the 10th page? This is basically them saying, well, I mean, if I give you this 10th page, it'll like be inferior to my craft and it would mess me up so badly. But you can pay me you can pay me another lump sum of the 10 pages for this 1 page. This is how stupid they sound.
Yeah. They continue, rigging is labor-intensive work. That labor includes not only rigging, but often consultation with your artist, communication and back and forth with you for edits or final setup, and often learning new techniques to keep up with the times and ever-evolving client expectations. I can tell you for a fact, riggers have not been evolving with client expectations at all. People want a lot of the stuff that has been, like, we've known existed for years. Like, the lean was a famous one. And none of you have it. None of you know how to do any of the special stuff that people have been talking about for years. You're not keeping up with expectations at all, but you still want to charge, like, ridiculous amounts.
Well, duh. It's labor-intensive work. That head turn, very intensive.
Now we have, because it's both a service and an art form, everyone takes a different amount of time. 50 to 150 hours is pretty standard. 200 to 300 hours is not unheard of, especially if the model is complex or the client has a lot of edits or needs a lot of help learning how to use the model or set it up. I feel like if you were taking 300 hours to do somebody's rig, you should probably just find a new line of work because you can't do this fast and efficiently enough to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that.
Or
that's a problem with a lot of artists. That's like a problem with a lot of artists lately, right? Like, I've had an artist I commissioned once that they basically completely turned around a very professional piece for me in an afternoon. Like, by the time the day was closing out, they were like, here's the flat color, I'll do the shading tomorrow. I was like, I only commissioned this like 6 hours ago.
I need to get that good. I need to get that good. What the heck?
And I'm not saying that's like everybody, right? But there are artists that have reached that point, you know? So when you're doing rigging and you're like, well, it takes me 200 hours to rig this, maybe you're just not good enough. You know?
Oh my gosh.
And then Jedi Dust says, Pop Quiz, name the top 3 best riggers.
Iron Vertex, that's it, because there's multiple people in the company.
Fair. Let's say a rigging comm takes 75 hours of labor from start to finish, including all of the above. If the rigger wants to make just the average minimum wage in the US, they have to charge at least $1,000 just for their time, just to make the same as they would flipping burgers.
What
do you know? What are you talking about?
It's commonly known everyone has a base salary and then it goes up depending on what contracts were. What are you talking about? I think this person's never worked a job in their life and they're bluffing right now.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to figure out where they're getting the amount from, right? Because I don't think you realize that when a regular person does a job, that the government takes out a ridiculous amount of their pay, right? So you're like, 75 hours start to finish, it's $1,000 for that time. You know, the average person making $13 an hour for 75 hours, he's gonna walk away with probably $500 to $600. I don't know where you got 1,000 from, but a majority of how much you made gets sucked into government taxes. And that's the benefit you guys get, is you deal with that shit later on in the year. And you get to keep 100% of what you make. Herpox, like, you're supposed to get better as time goes on. I can record, mix and master a song or cover in like 3 days. I've done it in 48 hours before. Yeah.
Even like, cause I'm trying to like mix too. That stuff is a lot easier than you think. It's more intimidation. But if you're like stalling and intimidating at that point, get out of this job and go like get a behind the counter job. Get customer service or something if you're taking that long.
Yeah.
At least the calls are coming in immediately.
Here's the math breakdown for minimum wage rigging at $15 an hour in the US. Fun fact, actual federal minimum wage in the US is about $7.25. It's half that. You guys live in a state where the minimum wage has been raised a lot. Anywhere that doesn't have like a minimum wage for their state, or just goes along with whatever the federal amount is, can be lower than $8 an hour. And people live off that. People make it work. So when you guys sit here and you talk about how you can't make it work, it's kind of a you problem.
And again, what are you doing with the money? Because with like, I can understand bills and stuff. Obviously, everybody's got to pay their bills. But you're charging like thousands of dollars for essentially 2 months worth of rent if we're doing like 2K. And I'm pretty sure it's not even that. Like
actually, chat, I looked it up. I am correct. Federal minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour.
Like, where's the money going? How are you paying for your stuff? How are you paying to live?
Yeah. Internet Zen Master, what a load of bull. I know AI artists who are doing 10 to 100 page requests with high quality AI art, 24-hour turnarounds multiple times a week. They charge $5 to $10 monthly subs, 50 to 150 hours, and over 1K is absurd. I don't think it's fair to compare it to AI artists, but I do think a lot of these people are just going like way too slow, and they're passing, instead of trying to learn how to speed up their process, They're just saying, no, you should just pay me for how slow I am.
Okay, bro.
Which they need to understand, if you were in a real job and you were consistently this slow and could never get any quicker, you get fired. That's how that works.
Yep.
You don't have a job anymore because you can't pick up the pace.
Not only that, but they don't even have an excuse compared to like normal artists, because with normal artists, there are so many avenues, but a lot of people go to art school, which is already expensive. A lot of art tutorials are just like so different from each other, and you will get a variety of styles because of it. It is, for a lot of people, being self-taught and not looking up anything outside of like learning the basics will get you faster results than like going to YouTube tutorials or going to college. But with live 2D, because everyone's using the same tutorials, a lot of them free on YouTube, just all you have to do is get a translator for a lot of it. Like, this is inexcusable. How are you not getting faster?
Exactly.
Or how do you not have like presets and then just edit the presets to make yourself go faster? It's gotta make sense.
Yeah, and then as a free tip out there for any artists that have not gone to college yet, do not go to art school. Go to business school and learn how to run a business.
Yes.
And you can apply that to art. I don't know why artists don't understand this. You can apply a business degree to your art business.
Yeah, you find out really fast, because this was also a big thing back in the day. They were like, well, if I turn it into a business, I'll lose the passion. Like, what is it? There's like a whole like underground, not even underground thing, but pretty much just the open secret that if you do it for business and not for the love of the game, people will shame you. Now I understand stuff like the banana, like obviously the banana is a dumb art thing that people tried to pass off as high art, but like, I still gotta get paid. Picasso wasn't poor.
I don't know. Some of those older artists were poor their whole life.
Yeah.
And they were just living off charity of others.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm thinking of Da Vinci. That's what I'm thinking of. Never mind. Da Vinci was still smart though, because he was an engineer who understood, if I'm one of the best engineers that you've got, pay me my money.
The artists that made money were the artists that were intelligent enough to know that they needed a benefactor and they needed to keep that benefactor happy.
Yep.
So a big thing was like some artist would latch on to like a nobleman and they'd be like, I paint like all the fucking portraits you want. And then they would use that to fund like their other like little side hustles or whatever.
Yep. Heck, even I'm pretty sure with I don't remember which artist, because I learned this recently, but one artist, I think it was Michelangelo, he even criticized Da Vinci for painting the Mona Lisa so slowly. So even back then, people made fun of you for being too slow.
Yeah.
They didn't even have the internet. They're like, why are you so slow? You have all the time in the world. Stop working on the Mona Lisa for like 5 months straight, bro.
Like, people always talk about like artists throughout history, and it's like, you went to art school, how do you not know this? There were two types of artists who had a sugar daddy who paid for all of their shit, and they had to keep their sugar daddy happy at all times by painting whatever their sugar daddy asked for, or an artist that was living outside of a cardboard box in front of the nearest church because they refused to do that and they just could not make any money any other way. Those were your two artists.
Oh my gosh. People are dumb.
Rigging isn't something just anyone can do. It's art, right? It's a specialized skill that people pay hundreds to learn how to do well. No, you didn't.
Stop calling it an art. It's not people, they like using the term technical art. You're not an artist. You're a mechanic. Mechanic the thing mechanic.
Yeah. Well, I always hate that, like, they pay hundreds to learn how to do it well. No, because everybody else that's using Live 2D puts out free tutorials because they're not assholes. All of the resources are free. You just refuse to, like, put your resources out for free because you want to pull the ladder up behind you.
Yup. Even mechanics still have colleges and try to make colleges more affordable for people. What's your excuse?
Yeah. A lot of the, specifically like trade stuff, not only do you have trade schools, but most tradesmen have like mentor programs, is how they do it. Like, I don't understand why you guys are so like big on pulling the ladder up behind you. And you'll be like, well, nobody helped me with it. It's like, yeah, and you won't help anybody else with it, so. You can't complain. You're the problem. The sad reality is that many riggers and many freelance artists, let's be real, are making under minimum wage for all the work they're doing day to day. Partially to be competitively priced just to find clients, and partially because we undervalue so much of our own labor. I've mentioned this before, the reason I particularly hate this line is because artists will sell these artists in particular, are selling their work to streamers. And they're looking a streamer dead in the eye and saying, you don't understand, I barely make money off of my work. It's like, have you looked at most streamers' analytics? Something ridiculous, like 90% of streamers will never make a single dollar. Ever. Point blank none. Ever. And then something like a further, like, 7 or 8% of that will never make more than a couple $100 off their entire lifetime of streaming. Like, you look me dead in the eye, and you're like, you don't understand, I don't make money off this. It's like, yes you do, I paid you. I'm the one that doesn't make money off this. Which I do now. I've mentioned this before, I'm very grateful that I do make money off this.
Yes.
To put it, because I actually don't mind telling people how much I make off streaming, because I want people to understand, like, how the numbers actually work. Like, today, I have made about $50 off just ad revenue from old videos. Which is kind of my ultimate goal at the end of the day. I prefer to make money in a way that people don't have to give me money, other than YouTube.
That sounds about right to me.
I feel like that's a lot better off everybody than people can watch my content and not have to donate, and I'm able to still make it, right? But I've acknowledged, after looking through my analytics, I'm special. Like, compared to other creators, I'm actually well above what a lot of people are. A lot of people are not gonna make that money at all, ever. And then a lot of these artists are gonna look them in the face and be like, you have to give me thousands of dollars. That thousands of dollars isn't coming from their streaming. Their streaming isn't making money. It's coming from their real life job that they're doing. Because the reality is, streamers, unlike artists for some bizarre reason, acknowledge that we have to have a real life job in order to do the thing we enjoy for fun. I still have a real life job, and I actually make money off streaming.
I have a real life job, and streaming is just... I have a real life job, and I can just take a break from streaming just because I need to focus my priorities, because even though I like streaming, that's not my main priority, because I still have responsibilities IRL. If you abandon your IRL responsibilities to just stream all day, you have issues.
Exactly. And it's the same with art. If you're just like, well, I don't need a real job, I'll just, do art and that'll be my real job. Well, you better have a business plan ready. You better have a line of clients ready. You better have all of your, money worked out.
Not only that, but because there's already a bunch of art companies out there, you better have a gimmick that'll make people come to you specifically. You think these people would just form a second Iron Vertex?
Yeah.
I keep saying Iron Vertex, but, I'm serious. You think these people would actually get under, their own branch? Forget all these VTuber companies. Make all these rigging companies. At least that makes sense.
I was going to save this to the end, but because you mentioned Iron Vertex twice now, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. But this popped up today as well. Apparently there was this rigging company called Rigor Mortis. And they put out a letter that they're closing down. This was June 2nd. By the way, this was yesterday. Yesterday, you know what I mean. But this happened after all of this drama. So it's just... I thought it was kind of okay.
Welp.
Also, yes, the name does make it very funny in retrospect. Yeah. Aura Master, it is funny in a cosmic sort of way. But yeah, you're like, let's make all these rigger companies. Well, here's one of them. They closed today.
I don't know, maybe they employed a bunch of these people that don't work.
Well, they say we decided to cease operations in order to pursue individual goals. There's no telling why they quit. Like, I thought it was wild. Before I continue, thank you, Internet Zen. Undervalue so much of our own labor. Oh, look, a commie type who'd be shoved into the work camps while operating under the delusion they'd be doing art. That is my favorite commie meme of the guy saying, "You don't understand. I was supposed to make drama essays for the cause," and the guy just says, "Break the rock breaker." Thank you, Sart. Now they are slowly learning that being an artist doesn't necessarily pay good for the average artist. These poor babies. Yeah, like, so a lot of them feel very DSP-esque, to be quite frank. Where they're like, you guys need to pay me. You don't understand. Like, I need money. You need to pay me now.
It doesn't help, like, again, because you mentioned it earlier, a lot of these people don't have business sense. And this is also why I keep saying you have the narrow mind of an anthill. Is that they're like, oh, well, I want to do this, but like I don't want to do the work, and I only want to work in this specific medium. And it's like there are like so many opportunities out there to do art, but because you are basically trying to appeal to poor people, you're just constantly begging and crying that the poor people are poor.
Thank you for the super Colzer. It says, I'm special validation donation. But I want to say, Tammy in chat says, do they need yellow paint to help them rig? That's a good one. But we had another one of these where it's when you commission an illustration, nobody gives you the PSD, just the exported image. You need the editable file to make an edit, you pay extra if the artist is willing to sell it to you. And if not, then no. For starters, a client wouldn't even know what to do with such a file. Isn't it obvious? I also have to say, like, everybody keeps bringing up the PSD thing. Nobody's really ever asked their artist for the PSD because it genuinely isn't necessary 99% of the time. But I've never had an artist tell me off when I did ask for it. Like, never, like, to be fair, I've never had one of my riggers tell me off when I asked for the CM03. I just went back yesterday for the rigger of this Mizu to check if we had actually talked about that, and I found, like, specifically where I said, hey, can I have the CM03 file? And they're like, yeah, here, sure, you go. It wasn't even a discussion. I just asked if I could have it, and they said, yeah, here you go. Also, sorry, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. These people make me want to jump on a lamp pole.
Mm-hmm. Asking for the PSD is virtually useless unless you're using Photoshop. Yeah, you can technically open a PSD with other programs, but it breaks it. I say this as somebody that used to do art, used to use Photoshop. When I tried to swap to other programs, you couldn't carry over the PSD. Like, a lot of programs would promise you, yeah, you can bring over your PSDs, they work fine with us. And some stuff would work, but a majority of it would just completely break and stop functioning.
Not only that, but people mess up people mess up some of even the most basic files that sometimes they'll just break the entire file, just period. And they sometimes just don't even have backup copies.
Yeah. You know, chat has Clip Studio Paint, Krita, and GIMP. They all say they can use it. However, like 90% of the features that Photoshop uses don't get transferred over properly. So if you have a actual detailed piece that used more than the paint brushes, it's gonna break.
I'm saying this as someone who like has Clip Studio Paint, because at one point I wanted to get Photoshop to make my own like brand new schedule revamp, but because I didn't know how to use Photoshop and I just couldn't stand the look of it or how to use it, I just worked with what I had in Clip Studio Paint. If you just have a program where you can just make what you can make, just use that. It's not worth it going to other programs.
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Have I ever told you what happened with my Photoshop?
I do not. I do not think so.
So I was leaving high school, and I thought that I was going to go and be an artist. I was going to be an artiste. So at the time, Photoshop wasn't a subscription. You could pay for it to forever have it.
That I do remember.
So I paid for like the actual Photoshop itself, which I think at the time was like $400, $500. It was super expensive for like somebody just out of high school. And one day, it was when they were swapping over to a subscription. I didn't know about it. Photoshop gave me a message when I opened it up that said, "Hey, you qualify for a free upgrade to the latest edition of Photoshop. Would you like your free upgrade?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll take the free upgrade." As soon as the upgrade was done, they said, "All right, now that you're on the latest edition of Photoshop, you have to start paying for a subscription." I was like, no, I paid for my Photoshop, like $500 for the Photoshop. I own it. So I ended up having to call Adobe, and they were basically like, "Okay, well, we can cancel the membership. You don't have to pay for it." I was like, "Good. So when can I use my Photoshop?" They're like, "Oh, you can't use this edition of Photoshop. You're going to have to go to the previous edition." I was like, "Okay, so where do I download the previous edition, or how do I like roll back the update?" They said, "Oh, you can't do that. We don't support that anymore. You're going to have to figure it out on your own." That's how Adobe treats you, by the way.
I got mad right now. Like, I got slowly mad. I'm like, what the heck?
That's literally how Adobe treats people, and that's why everybody hates Adobe.
And that's why it's legally okay to pirate Adobe, because everyone collectively agrees that it's okay. We all hate Adobe equally here.
I would find out later that was a strategy Adobe was using to try and get more money out of people, was pretending you would get a free update, and then trying to charge you, and then telling you they couldn't roll it back.
Yes, that's about right.
It really upset me. Anyways, I've only got a couple more of these to go. Or a couple more of these left in my history. So I just called this section "Clients Are Idiots." In like quotes. Because it has stuff in it like this. "Guys, read the contract TOS and see what you will get for the deliverables. That is what you paid for. Don't like it? Negotiate or find someone else who can provide. You are not entitled to anything that is not stated in the commission contract." So I mentioned this at the top of the stream. The average brand new VTuber is not going to know what the CMO3 is or why they need it. So these are people basically taking advantage of the fact that the client doesn't know what they need to scam them.
Yup.
I compared it in my original tweet to this, to like one of those shitty mechanics that abuses the fact that you can't fix your own car to start upcharging you for shit you don't need. Because that's what they're doing. A new VTuber does not know what the CMO3 is, and they do not know that they need that file. So it's up to you, as the artist, who should be moral and kind, to tell them, "Hey, this is the CMO3 file. In the future, you might need this. You should have it."
Yup. Like I said this to someone else earlier. Even without the knowledge of the CMO3 file, like on my end, it's important. It's one of those things where it's like companies worldwide practice this, where they give you what you need so that you don't come back to them afterwards and say, "Well, I didn't get what I need, so I'm going to sue you." This is industry standard. You know what you're doing when you say, "Well, I can't just give it to you. I can ask for more money, though." You know what you're doing. You're just being greedy.
Exactly. And I'd called this section clients are idiots because they're basically using the fact that the client doesn't know what they need as an excuse to fuck them over. And they're like, well, if you knew what you needed, you wouldn't have gotten fucked over. Sucks to be you.
Okay,
I'm
bro.
like, you sound like one of those Indian tech scammers. Well, if your grandmother was smarter, she wouldn't have given me all that money. Sucks to be her. It's not my fault she did it. Thank you, Internet Zen. Says the second worst sin of Adobe, the subscription nonsense. The worst sin, neglecting, ruining, and eventually killing off Adobe Flash. We had this one. With all the controversy surrounding the riggers and the CMO3, there's only one thing left for me to say. Client, read your artist terms of service. Read what your commission includes, and if you want something that comes at an extra cost, buy it. But don't come whining on Twitter because they won't give you something you didn't pay for, or because complaining about it being excluded was right there in the terms of service. And above all, don't belittle your rigger's work. We put effort into making every model unique and highlighting its details. We don't have an industrial machine cranking out mass-produced rigs for hundreds of models. We're not scamming you by putting a price on our work.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, so what if the toss just doesn't have it? And again, me as a new VTuber, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm just expected to know what it is.
I've met multiple VTubers that didn't know what the CMO3 was, and then years later they realized that they would just have to start over. I don't have the CMO3 for the original Mizu. Like, that model's just kind of there now.
Heck, I don't have the CMO3 for my own file. Kendra, you just get what Kendra gets. I got other models, thankfully, but like, that's it for original Kendra right here.
So this person had 2 messages. The second one was really long. As a rigger, one of the main things I've realized over the years is, 1, the client doesn't read. Many riggers include the CMO3 for an extra cost. Why? Because the CMO3 is basically all of our work. With it, if it's distributed without authorization, many people could end up with an almost fully rigged model without paying a dime, which directly impacts our workflow. Most riggers clarify this in their terms of service. Take a few minutes before commissioning to read your rigger's yes and no list. Again, that doesn't help if they don't know what it is.
And number 2, it doesn't matter if you have a yes or no list. Yes or no list only applies to the direct artist because you have art on screen.
Yeah.
Not rigging of like, well, we want to rig, but like you can't move.
Now client, if you're afraid your rigger might disappear, ghost you, or for some reason step away from rigging, ask for a precaution. Inquire about the CMO3, and depending on your rigger's pricing, buy it. Again, people don't know what they need it.
Just buy it. Just give me extra money for the $2,000 I spent on you.
Oh, I have somebody coming up with that as well. Now, many people have the question, what is the CMO3? Do I need it with my rigging commission? The answer is no. The CMO3 is the editable file. With it, anyone with access to Live2D can modify your work, take credit for it, or even distribute it without authorization, like the example mentioned above. So in what case...
The same.
Like, so this is the thing. You know what the CMO3 is. You recognize that the average client doesn't know what it is. And when somebody says, do I need it? You're like, no, you don't need it. Nah.
Again, it's like an instruction manual. Do I need an instruction manual to know how to use a blender? No, but it's there anyway, just in case.
Yep. So in what case do I need the CMO3? Great question. You can buy the CMO3 in different cases, mainly as a backup. Some models are super heavy, so as riggers, we don't always keep these files. Therefore, if you plan to make future modifications, or if you didn't like something about your model's rigging and want to work with another rigger, you can request and pay for the CMO3. There are other cases... What are you going to say?
Or you can just include it, and if I lose it, then I can pay. Oh my... I think these people...
Yeah. There are other cases, and some riggers wouldn't accept your soul for the CMO3. That's why it's important to read your artist's terms and conditions. If they won't hand over the CMO3, not even for extra cost, and it's really important to you, find another rigger who will. But the most important thing is precaution. You never know if your rigger might pass away tomorrow and won't be able to deliver the CMO3 in the future. So consider requesting it when you start your commission. I like how they acknowledge this. Like, they could die tomorrow and you wouldn't have access to it. That's correct. That's why you should give it to me.
These are the type of people you shove in lockers. I'm sorry. These are the type of people you shove in lockers because they're the annoying tattletale who's like, actually, well, teacher, could you give us the homework? Because it is important for our learning.
Yeah. And then don't make me tap the sign again that says learn. Thank you for the Dojin character. Don't make me tap the sign again that says learn how to write and read contractual agreements. You are working at a job, or you are working a job. There's pretty much no hard and fast rules on what an artist has to or does not have to do. It's a contract. Figure it out and stop casualizing your business agreement because you can't be bothered to put what you want in writing. Nearly every single problem I see among artists and clients is genuinely solved with learning how to properly contract for services rendered and going through the correct channels to ensure it's done above board. Some of you genuinely have no clue how business works with the gig economy and how to professionally carry yourself. They say it goes for clients and artists alike, but you know you're talking about clients.
Don't tell me. I can't say what I want to say. I can't say what I want to say.
I know, right? I have to pull up the special one from my profile because as far as I can tell, they deleted it. Probably because they realized they sound like a retard.
Yeah. I know Akko took a picture of it too.
This one. Let me see if it pops up fine in this. Yeah, it pops up fine. So there was this one that I'm pretty sure they deleted because everyone immediately started dunking on them. Even riggers who were on the side of like, yeah, we don't have to give our clients shit, was looking at this person sideways. They retweeted the original guy and says, because of this, I always offer my client a file storage fee so they can come back for more updates in the future. So not only is this person not going to give you your CMO3, but they're going to charge you a fee in case you want them to keep it. What?
This is why I just quote retweeted them and I was just like, what in the Rena Center?
And then somebody replied, that's terrible, just sell them the files. And they said, the file cost ×5. So it depends on the client. To put into perspective that we've been talking about this for a while, some riggers charge upwards of $2,000 for their files. And you're telling me you charge ×5. You are full of shit. Nobody's paying that. Actually, I wonder if I could go and see how much they actually charge. If they have it, like, listed anywhere.
Please.
They charge $450 for a full body rig. So if you want your CMO3, that is $2,250.
Yup. What is it? So they charge $400 for a full body, $450 for a full body, $350 for a half body.
You can also charge. You can also pay them 100% more for an NDA.
Okay.
Intellectual property rights. Do not edit, redistribute, or resell the commissioned work without my permission. I have to point this out, by the way. A lot of artists include this do not resell commissioned work thing. You actually can't put that in a contract with like this. So what they think they mean is reproduce. you cannot reproduce and then resell the piece, right? So, like, that would be me selling, like, 20 Mizus to a bunch of random people. That's what they think they mean. But when you say in a contract you cannot resell the commissioned work, you can't actually prevent somebody from reselling something they own. That will not hold up in court. Because you're not... If I give Mizu to somebody else for money, and I stop being Mizu, I did not reproduce and resell Mizu. I sold the rights to him. And you physically cannot stop me from doing that. I retain full copyright of the work. You may not claim the design or rigging as your own creation.
Again, the only reason why, because they have the artist in like the sides of the videos. They're not the artist unless you fully drew these things from the ground up and you have a contract with someone that allows you to get them off the contract if they do any of the violations that have to also legally make sense. You can't stop anybody from doing that.
Exactly. And then a couple random things I had at the end here was just people that were replying that mentioned, like, yeah, I've been fucked by, like, my rigger, right? Like, this person said, I started requesting for the rig files to safely store as my rigger lost my rigged files during a system update, which meant I had to pay to have my model rigged again, so I was out a ton of money. This was somebody that their rigger wasn't even bad, but their rigger ended up losing the files due to a system malfunction.
I still call your rigger bad because they made you pay for something they lost.
Yeah. But that's kind of like what we're saying, though. If you are, if you don't get the files from your rigger, it doesn't matter how nice your rigger is. There is a possibility that it still gets lost, and you are still on the hook for it. We had, I wholeheartedly agree with this, and I've been flamed for it in the past. I paid $2,000 for my previous model and got a single Visme when I was told I would get the whole array. The people that did my model outright refused, gave me a half-finished model, and then refused any edits or adjustments. I wasn't allowed to have the rig to do it myself. Yeah, no, I completely agree with this. If I'm spending that much money, I deserve to have proper support to go with it. And if you aren't willing to give me that support, I either want my money back or I want the rig so I can give it to someone that can. And then, of course, we have that, yeah, I don't have the rigging file for my current model, so when I went back to my rigger for new toggles, I got told they lost the files and I would need to pay again for full rigging process. For a percentage of the original cost, but still, since then, I'm major paranoid. Like, this is how bad it's gotten, that they have been convinced that this is normal, and they're like, well, it was a percentage of the original cost, to be fair. They charged you for shit they lost.
Yup.
And, like, we'll sit here and they'll try and pretend like we're the bad people for wanting, like, access to our files. Like, no, you guys suck. And we can't trust you, like, just to be quite frank.
Like, at that point, you might as well just, like, blacklist them and then warn people about them. Like, hey, this person is just not responsible. Like, get away from them. They're, like, super irresponsible. Do not buy or pay or whatever. These people just want the money. These people are more than money hungry. They want control and power. And that's the worst type of people you can encounter. Because at least with someone who needs money, they actually need the money. These people don't need the money. They just want to lord money over people.
I thought I had retweeted somebody for this one, but maybe I didn't. But I saw, like, I started seeing a bunch of riggers today that were trying to be like, you know, in light of recent news, you're still not getting the file. However, I have made a dead man switch that will give you the file if something happens to me. I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. You heard that on, like, CSI Miami, and you thought it was, like, really hilarious to include this. Because there's no way to prove also that you've done that, right? It's something you can just say, and, like, not people are just expected to believe it. Frankly, I don't believe any of you. I saw at least a dozen artists start talking about how they have Deadman switches and how they have like all these backups and stuff. And it's like, you have all of this, but you won't just give me my fucking file?
No, because you might learn. You might learn how to do that. And I can't do that for you because then you're my competition.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't believe you have all this stuff. I believe you just don't want to give me my file, so you just made it up.
These people are stupid. Hate every single one of them. The reason this entire situation pissed me off so bad is just for the amount of people that randomly started using big legal words, and I knew full and well that they were all bluffing and had no idea what they were talking about. It was aggravating and actually like pissed me off for like 2 days because I'm like, y'all are scamming people and you know you're scamming people and you're using technical terms that I knew about when I was 16 to try and just wring as much money from people. Y'all are so freaking irritating. If you stopped being Live 2D riggers and got a job for once, maybe you'd actually be successful in life. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. They thank you for the app. They just refuse it. Thank you, Sparky. Says, found out over this, my Argus rigger deleted everything and vanished off the net. I have all the files because I asked 3 years ago, 150 total. And then Internet Zen Master had said, you are working a job. Rigger, that is you. You guys act more unprofessionally than the clients, and that's hard to do given it's VTubers we're talking about. No, it's been ridiculous with the whole the rigger thing. And I wanted to talk about it because I really want people to understand you need your CMO3. In the future, if you want to do VTubing, you need to try and get that file. And you need to get a rigger that's going to give you that file. Because you're gonna want, if you really like your model, you're gonna want that file in the future. Or else you're just gonna have to completely abandon it and start over. Is basically how that works.
Yep.
Vinmaru sent a super that says, I know of literally one content creator with a Deadman switch, and that's because a German spy is literally a government employee, and the vid went up by accident once. That's funny.
Like I said, I've said, like, what is it? I've said this already, like, multiple times, even in and out of this. If you want that much money, just include it in the original price. If someone has to ask you, you're just being greedy. You're just being greedy and stupid on purpose because you want to pretend that you're just this poor, ignorant artist when you literally have the control and you genuinely could do something about it. But because you just want to be, you're just greedy, just so greedy and selfish.
Yeah.
God.
But chat, that's all I particularly had for tonight. We do have Lautism later today. Technically later today. And then, for those of you who still enjoy the card streams, we do have cards tonight, but it's going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. The special anniversary edition pack that came from Baracho Gato. Which, again, thank you for the cards. It's much appreciated. I also need to sit down and actually clean up my cards because it's becoming kind of a problem.
Someone said it, Deadman switch, and it's just a post scheduled in advance that gets routinely rescheduled.
Yeah. This whole drama was a chain effect of self-report, pretty much. A whole bunch of riggers started saying stuff in public that people were allowed to like cross-reference with other people, and suddenly a bunch of questions started popping up, and it's like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, pretty much. Because like I said it also when this first like popped up, this is about a person that got ghosted and how now they have to effectively rebrand, or not rebrand, but redo everything from scratch. And you still made it about yourself.
Exactly.
Such openly narcissistic behavior. Like, talk about all of that.
Also, if anybody wants to mention it on my Discord, I know somebody said I popped up in a Lydia video. I'd like to see where I popped up at. So feel free to pass it over to me. I may just watch like her most recent video and see if that's where it is.
So that's what I do sometimes.
But we'll see you later, chat. Hope you all have a good night. Let me see if I have a friend I can send you to.
Yes, and thank you for inviting me on. This was an event.
I figured you'd like to talk about artists doing artist things.
So every time I encounter artist Twitter, I want to gouge my eyes out. And this was the one that set me off the most.
We'll send you guys to Hibana. They are playing Faith, the Unholy Trinity. And then over on Twitch, we'll see if anybody's going on Twitch right now. Oh, we can just send you the leaflet on Twitch. Who looks like she is covering the Reckless Ben stuff. So if you're over on Twitch, be good for Leaflet, enjoy the Reckless Ben stuff. If you're over on YouTube, be good for Hibana. Enjoy Faith, the Unholy Trinity. Night, everybody.